so stunning, moving, and life-changing. So if you got to brag out a video link early, sorry, I didn't like saw everyone in this room, but I did. And I just want to start with a question for you. I heard, or I read, actually, that the film took about 8 years. It was like a long journey, is that correct?
It's true, yes.
I would love to hear about that journey and how we got to this stage today.
Oh, of course. Well, my co-writer, who was actually here in the audience, Orlando Tirado, yes. And I started writing the script, as you mentioned, about 8 years ago. And it's a film that was initially inspired by the story, the life story of a very dear friend of mine. And what really appealed to me and what I felt was very important for me to explore was the experience of not being recognized, of not being seen for who you are. And all the traumas and the complexities and the consequences really of abandonment. Because I think this is something that is so inherently human. It's so part of everyone's experience to a certain extent. It's something that we can all relate to. And it's something that really shapes our sense of identity of ourselves, but also how we relate to one another. And so that was really, I think, where everything stemmed from for me.
And in terms of the kernel of the idea, it makes sense that this felt like it was sort of derived from a real story, because there is not a false moment, there is not a fraction of a second that is so grounded and lived in, of course, thanks to this beautiful collaboration. I would love to know how this happened and how it came together, and when you got your hands on the script and your approach to tackling the material.
It was December 2016 when I got the script, and then I started the auditioning process and had some dinners and some more auditioning. And when they decided to have me, then I gave some notes, and I don't know, it was like a slow boil, right?
Yes.
Well, we had Anna Paquin for a while, and then we got Emily and Patricia, or maybe it was Patricia.
No, Patricia was
Patricia first.
Yes.
And then, I don't know.
Josh, who's
Yeah.
here in the audience. Josh Close.
Where's Josh?
So Josh was very nice.
But at times I had to just step away from it, honestly, because you don't know if it's gonna get funding, you don't want to get too attached, and
Well, I should mention that it was a very, very long casting process, especially for our harmonica, because it was clear from the beginning that that was going to be the most important, the most crucial, consequential choice for the making of the film. And we saw some really remarkable people over a year. And it was a search that actually extended overseas. We saw people in the UK, in South Africa, in Australia as well. But I have to say that the moment I met Trace, even though I had other people to see still, but the moment I met Trace, I knew that I found that person that I could sculpt this character with, that we could bring her alive.
She has that effect. It's true. So visually, this film is so stunning. I'm going, can we get an exhibit of stills somewhere? Can we do an installation? It is so stunning. I know the exact things I want to frame and put on my wall. I would love to hear about your influences and your collaboration with the cinematographer and how you came to this very unique, gorgeous, perfect style.
Of course. Well, the great Kate Arizmandi, she's the director of photography. And it was, yes, thank you. And we spent a lot of time in pre-production trying to find the cinematic language that could articulate in the most eloquent way possible, the way to penetrate the internal world of Monica, the emotional world, especially. And we tried different things, we experimented a lot, but we decided then to proceed with a very square-like ratio, portrait-like ratio. In fact, it's a very particular one. It's a 1.2 to 1. And we recognized how it would help us to enhance the feeling of claustrophobia and codependence between two bodies within the same frame. And then, of course, every choice that we made, aesthetic, in terms of like formal choice, it was so that, at the center, it was the need to preserve that relationship between the spectator and the character, a relationship in which the spectator can see themselves reflected in the character in a very individual and independent way, without being told what to think or what to feel, but that hopefully they would be able to project themselves onto the character and see themselves and understand things about themselves individually.
Yeah, totally. It feels like it's like everything that you're saying now, I'm realizing subconsciously I was feeling as a result of this very conscious choice on your behalf. Trace, I would love to hear about that pivotal scene between you and Josh in the backyard, when you guys really first kind of have that connection and you open up. Like, that feels like such a pressure point in the movie that just relieves so much, and everybody's able to come together after that conversation in this really gorgeous way. I would love to hear about like what went into the blocking decisions and like really what that was like on the day and what it was like shooting that scene and trying to get it as perfect as it was.
Yeah, I mean, it was very choreographed. I think we had a dolly or something for the camera, and we had several marks, so it was like a dance. And then, there was the long walk and the emotion of it. But I think throughout the film, there were these really technical points, because this man is specific. He is specific. But I love it, because it made me a better actor. And so, every job I take, I'm like, well, I want to learn, I want to always be a student, I always want to better my craft. And he brought out the best in me. But that scene also, I think it was almost going to be a different tone, but we had a conversation about that.
It's true.
On set as well.
We changed a line in the script right at the very last moment.
Yeah.
Thanks to you, actually.
Yeah, because I just remember I remember it was a different tone, and I was like, no. No, Monica was the one that was dropped off at the bus station. She's not kissing, anybody's ass here. It just needs to be a little more equal. And so we found it, and that was really cool, because everyone was collaborative, and I think it just helped the film in the end.
For sure. Yeah, egolessness is like the perfect potion for a great piece of art. I know the benefit of working with like a veteran actor, and I wonder, just like as you were saying, the best actors are always going to something trying to learn, especially from like these women who have been doing it for so long. I just wonder what you came away with as a product of working with Patricia that you felt you're going to carry out and continue on in terms of yourself as an actress.
Well, she and I work very similarly. We don't over prepare. We show up, work from the gut. It's very raw. One thing I will take away is her stillness between takes, and how was just like this strong confidence, you know, and there's all that technical shit happening, and the sound guy's running past you, and you're like, I'm trying to hold here, I'm crying, what are you doing? That fucking thing on my face, someone screaming on a walkie-talkie, my mom is dying. And that can be hard.
Yeah.
Especially working on film, because sometimes they have to reload the camera. Or there's like a hair in the gate, which is like, the gate is like this monster that I learned about. So you have to check it after every fucking take. And make sure that there's no dust or hair on it. God forbid you cry, or have to do something really crazy, and then you do it, which, that happened on the first day on set. There was a hair in the gate in the bathroom scene. I'm like, what's the gate? Who's that? Another producer, I don't know yet. No. So, I don't know how I got on that story, but yeah, I learned from her stillness, and just like, yeah, I mean, she's had a 5-decade career. It was a master class.
Okay, so I would love to open up to the audience. If anyone has any questions, no question too big or small. Sure, in the front.
Yeah, just what about the new wave music choices?
Whether or not the new wave music choices.
Yes, well, you know, the music plays a very important role in the film. One, because you know, it's the use of music is exclusively diegetic, and the 11 tracks that we hear, they serve two different purposes. You know, one is to like allow us to get to know Monica a little more, but sometimes even like they contradict the energy of the scene and how she feels. So like they have this dual purpose, and almost like, actually I should say 9 of them were tracks that were chosen in the writing phase of the screenplay, and 2 of them happened to be decisions that came after.
Yeah.
I have a question for you, Andrea.
Oh, Ken Halo, wow.
Did you have a full script this time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
From A to no imposition, no impromptu, everything was head to toe.
Ken Halo was the producer of my very first short film.
Wow.
Very long time ago. I can't believe it, but I haven't seen you in so long. It's very nice to see you here. Yes, the screenplay was very, very specific. And in fact, Orlando and I write like paying attention to the details, to the way the set looks, you know, what the characters are wearing, how they move within the space. And I feel like that is necessary for me, at least in this phase of my filmmaking process, because to be that prepared allows me to be much more open for improvisation on set. And so I learned that, you know, the more specific I am in the pre-production, in the writing phase, the more I'm open to collaboration, which is so key to this process and to filmmaking in general. And so yeah, it was specific.
What would you like, I guess, like have a message towards society in general, and especially for trans women as well? Like, what would be the message?
Is that for me, or?
Anyone, but
Well, I hope that, because this film is like so delicate, that, and it's not heavy-handed and preachy, that I hope that it reaches people who ordinarily wouldn't be open to listening. or even just seeing us, our humanity. Some of my favorite parts of the film are just her existing, Monica existing, holding a baby on the end of a dock in the sunshine. Letting people see her be a little maternal or an auntie or playing freeze tag in the forest. Crying to an ex on the phone because she just wants love. Those are things, I don't know, those are things that I feel like are things that people can identify with, even if trans people are foreign to them. And so I just hope that's like a bridge in some way.
Very good.
I might not know how to express myself, but this kind of reminds me of Frida when the baby laying down in bed is disabled and she kisses another female and here the old lady. I guess there's no men around and stuff. I want to hear like from you directly what's going through this old lady's mind when she does this. And also, it also reminded me of The Godfather, of the style that is quiet and it's very. It reminds me of the garden when the Godfather died, and he speaks with his grandson, and there's like an acapella of voice, but quiet. So the whole collaboration and design of the whole movie, I love it. It's really nice. You're wonderful actors.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think we have time for one more.
What was your strategy behind opening this film in Venice before the US, just out of curiosity?
Oh, well, for a film like this, it's, I think, a major film festival like Venice, Cannes, Berlinale, plays a very, very important role. It's crucial. It's actually fundamental. So it was a no-brainer when Venice invited us. I mean, it was the best that we could hope for a beginning, to start this road, for the film to actually reach the audiences.
Well, and with that, I want to thank you